the next thing I'm going to read you poems from is something called "At every moment, the fact that you are floating on a rock in space is valid and important to consider among your other concerns." It's something that means a lot to me because it can be very hard to keep that context of that understanding as you go through life. There's many stuff that you have to take care of. There are many things to be stressed out about, pissed off about, sad about, worrying about. These are very real things. Sometimes we need to feel those emotions and focus on those things. Many times we have to. But also at every single moment, there is so many things going on, and this context for life that is so unbelievably weird and strange and mysterious as well, because we don't really know a lot of it. And science is trying to understand all this, like what is the past? How did human beings come to be? What is going on in space? What is the Big Bang, and what was before the Big Bang? Does it make sense to say before the Big Bang? I'm still learning about this stuff, and there are probably people know more than me. But there's many mysterious things, but a lot of times we don't really think of them on a day-to-day basis. So one thing that I've been learning even more about lately, more than outer space, even is my own human body, and how amazing it is, and how wacky it is that I have one, or that I am one, depending on your perspective. And I've been learning many things. Did you know that inside the human lungs, there's about 500 million air sacs? 500 million, that's very many. That's a lot, and it is an extreme amount for it to be inside of me. I don't really understand how there could be something so small. It's like inside of me there are things that are way more complex than in any computer, I feel. And we think that our technology is so great, but basically our human technology that we've created is a piece of shit compared to what is already what we are, in my opinion. But also the technology is great, because really without the internet I would not be here, because nobody would know who I am in Sweden. So it's not all bad. But anyway, our bodies are amazing, and really something to be like, wow, what's going on? I will say one more thing about my amazing human flesh. That is that blood vessels are very important to learn about, because I used to think of my blood vessels as just these empty tubes that blood flows through to get where it needs to go, whatever. They're just little tubes, big whoop. But it actually turns out the blood vessels are they're active participants in the circulation of the blood. There's actually a smooth muscle that lines the blood vessels that helps to carry the blood along, to get the blood where it needs to go. Really, when your heart only beats intermittently, your heart beats like, you know, love-dub, little bit of heartbeat. It beats like this, but the blood flows continuously in a smooth flow. And so what's going on with that? What's going on with that? Well, it turns out that the blood vessels smooth it out. And the elastic arteries, the first arteries outside the heart, they're particularly able to distend out wider when they get that big burst of blood, and then they smooth it out into a continuous flow. So they're pretty rocking in there. Okay. Dear reader, I love you. And I'm the only person on earth who loves you, so you better love me also. Imagine a world in which all alcohol consumption was replaced by people hanging out with dogs. A man goes on a month-long bender playing with dogs in his apartment. Rebellious teens partying with dogs. Dude, let's swing by the animal shelter, pick up some dogs for the party. I posted an Owl City song on my Tumblr, and it only got 2 notes. How am I supposed to help people if they refuse to help themselves? Question about Land Before Time. How is their narrative? Imagine someone eating and screaming, like eating a full meal and screaming constantly between mouthfuls. See if you can fit that banana in your dad's ass could probably become a common saying. Like, similar to, how do you like them apples? It's a similar saying. And I've been trying to gather possible usages for this saying. See if you can fit that banana in your dad's ass. And if you come up with some good ideas of when to say that, you can send me a message on the internet and tell me, or come up and tell me afterwards. I'll tell you a couple ideas I had, though. If you're in a sport, if you're in a game, you're playing sports, you're playing, say, a football game, and you're in the huddle, or whatever, I don't know. You're playing a game, and then you come up with a plan of what the next play is going to be, and you say, oh, we're going to do this play. Let's see if they can fit this banana in their dad's ass. Yeah. That's one usage. Now, another usage that somebody told me over Facebook message was, they said, if you're at a public pool and or some other like swimming place, and your friend who's with you is pretending to drown, but you know that they're pretending, but they are pretending to drown and die. But you know, and you're like, and you jump in, and then you pretend like you're trying to save them, but then you pretend that you are drowning, and you pretend die, and then they're like, no, and then you say, you reveal that you are not drowning, and then you say, see if you can fit that banana in your dad's ass. That one is a little more advanced, but it is a possibility. So